Hi. I just want to call out how important it is for us women to access our feminine power now. Women are rising up everywhere. We have tried to really work within the male defined system, and it's not working. Forbes had an article just a year ago, May of 2023, where they reported that women are leaving corporate America in droves because of inadequate pay, because of harassment, and what is described in the article as microaggression, lack of flexibility, total stress and burnout. Women cannot. There's no flex time. That's another thing that was named. How can you have a family and care for children when there's no flex time? There's no child care. There's no family leave. Women are taking the risk now of starting their own businesses because the world is not the world we want to live in. We want to live in community with family. We want to live caring for the earth. We don't want to be in endless wars. So, but this begins with you personally. And what happened to us is that in the first 7 years of our lives, we were basically in a state of hypnosis. We were just looking at what our family and the culture said we were supposed to be like. And what happened in that process is you left a lot of who you are behind. It's still there, but you're not consciously living it. And that's why women coming together, women getting coaching to bring that out. It is really hard to do it on your own. I speak from experience. I've been around a while. It took me, I hate to say it, it took me 3 decades because I was born at a time when women were supposed to be housewives and have babies. There weren't even careers, and there was no role model, there was no coaching, there were no classes, there were no books about what we needed to hear. So the coaching, the bringing forward of your feminine power means a new relationship to yourself. It means bringing forward the gifts that you left behind. I left several behind because my family didn't like my energy. I was creative, I was interested in theater and dance, and they said, that's very selfish of you. And they did. It's not funny. I'm laughing now because I have the distance on it, sort of. Sometimes things can trigger me still about my parents trying to crush me out. And even after I'd been accepted with honors to the University of California, they came up with the idea I should get married at 18. They were both UC graduates. What the hell was that about? Well, it was about women must be virgins until they get married. So yes, I'm perhaps dating myself a bit, but that was the reality. So I want to call out our power because we want to live a life of purpose and impact. Women do not want to just achieve within the world as it is, and certainly not within a corporate environment that still only pays women 82 cents on the dollar, that stops women, tracks women away from getting into the top positions of leadership in corporate America. I mean, this was supposed to be our moment of power in the 1970s. We learned how to be rational, linear, goal-oriented, get-it-done leaders, and we've done well overall in corporate America. But we aren't in the C-suite for the most part. We are not the corporate leaders for the most part. Women often get sidetracked to go into the human resources department. Holy cow. So after all these many decades where we really have absorbed the masculine paradigm, the masculine idea of what it means to have power, we've had it. We want power to be about the power of community, the power of connection, the power of intuition, the power of using our genuine embodied wisdom. And it takes some support and some time, because when we got blocked from some of those creative aspects that are still there, they're still in you, we learn self-criticism. Women suffer so much from self-doubt, particularly successful women like you who have already done things with your life, but when it comes to like taking your life up to the next level, reaching higher, all those doubts come out. And I'm not making this up. I'm quoting a coach from San Francisco who works with women who are managers and higher level people in the corporate world. And when they talk with her about what's stopping them, it's feelings like, I don't know enough yet. I maybe should go get my MBA first. Holy cow, we have so much life experience. We are needed now. This world is crashing, and not a moment too soon as far as getting rid of a government focused on war, focused on anything but helping the average family be able to buy an affordable house, afford food, etc., etc., etc. So we have a lot to give. We are the majority. We have enormous power. So that's why I do groups with women, small groups, so we're close-knit. And I also want to mention the power of intention. We actually are co-creators with the universe. This is not something woo-woo that somebody made up. Princeton University did a 28-year-long study of intention. And at the end of that 28 years, the director of that program said, and his last name was Johns, Jahns, he said, we have proved beyond a shadow of a doubt statistically that intention does change reality. Now it's up to you to decide how to use it. So I am calling all women to realize how much power we have within, and that we can support each other to bring it out, and it is essential. And I want to name one more thing, and that is our sacred heritage. I mean, I'm sure you're aware of people talking about goddess wisdom and all of that kind of thing. Now, I'm not suggesting you necessarily change your spiritual orientation or run out and buy a goddess outfit. What I am saying is this. This was the longest lived religion ever in human history, and a lot of it was in human prehistory. But God was not a male. God was not a singular divinity up in the sky. That came into Europe through the Indo-Europeans, who were actually warriors on horseback. I'm a horseback woman, so it makes me kind of sad. But my point being, Maria Gimbutas, who was an archaeologist and ended up teaching at UCLA, and her whole understanding of what she dug up in Europe, Eastern Europe, was that under the goddess, who was really a female deity, everyone saw the deity as feminine, there was no war. Do you know she said, I did not dig up one single weapon of war, not one. What I found were little statues of women and beautiful pottery. The Indo-Europeans did not have that artistic sensibility, and their pottery showed it was very crude. So she taught at UCLA for many years after she came to the United States, and believe me, she had her struggles. When she got here in 1946, they said, okay, you can teach at Harvard, but we're not going to pay you anything. And they wouldn't even let her into the library unless a man accompanied her. So have we been faced with challenges over the decades, even recently? This is why we need to support each other. We need to recognize and amplify everyone's gifts so we can bring them out. We need to take leadership at this point, and we have a very strong spiritual heritage that is connected to life itself, that is connected to the seasons. Now, I grew up in agricultural California, so I have a very strong feeling and a very vivid memory of what good soil looks like and smells like, what homegrown zucchini and corn on the cob tastes like, fresh peaches off the tree, plums, oh my goodness. And so to combat climate change, we must restore the soil. It is not a matter of getting off carbon dioxide. I could give a whole other talk on that right now, but I learned that from a climatologist and soil microbiologist named Walter Jehne, Jehne. You can watch his talks on YouTube. He's Australian. He works with ranchers and they're reclaiming the soil in Australia. This is what we need to do. We need to reclaim the soil so we have healthy food. People have chronic illness, children have chronic illness that didn't exist a few decades ago because the food sucks. The food is poisonous. The food lacks all natural nutrition because the soil is depleted. So we have a spiritual, cosmic leadership. I'm so passionate about this, to join with other women and say, we are the guardians of life itself. We are the real leaders who can bring this United States, which is off its rocker right now in some ways, and the whole world into community so that we can live as human beings again, not as these people staring all day at their cell phones and suffering depression, anxiety, isolation, lack of empowerment, chronic disease. Women are so stressed out that we make up 80% of the autoimmune diseases. Do you know what that means? It means your body has turned on itself. Why does it turn on itself? Because while men can run on testosterone in order to sleep 4 hours a night and work 80 hours a week, women can't. We don't have testosterone in that quantity. So guess what we run on? Adrenaline and cortisol, which makes us fat, and which also just burns us out. Literally, burnout. You are burning out your organs. You're burning away your health. We need our health. So I could go on with speeches about that. So let me stop and let me just encourage you to look into what feminine power is all about. And I invite you to sign up for a session with me if you'd like to explore where you'd like to go with your life at this point, because women are saying, yeah, I want to bring forth my true innate gifts that I was born with. And energetically, those gifts are still all around. If you are interested in energy and quantum physics, watch the talks by Rupert Sheldrake, Sheldrake. He's a British, I think he's a plant biologist originally. He understands that the creativity, the who we are, was like an energy field around us when we were born, and it has never left us. It's just we got cut off at the neck and disembodied by the culture that told us we had to look pretty only one certain way, we had to think and use only our minds, and embodiment wasn't important, and blah blah blah. It's still there. That energy field is all around you, and when you start to tap your true feminine vitality and magnetism, people will feel it, and you will become a catalyst for change. You will become a co-creator with the great creative intelligence of this universe. I could give another speech about that, so let me stop and invite you to schedule a time with me to see if you'd like to join one of the groups that I do, and it probably would be a virtual one unless you're in my area, and possibly also one-on-one support, so that you can transform your life, your work, your finances, your love life, find the intimacy you've always wanted, recapture the energy that you need in order to be a leader in this world. On and on, so many wonderful things that we can recapture when we get the right kind of support, when we get a new perspective, a new relationship to ourselves. It's really, really important to realize that all that inner critic stuff is stuff we absorbed in those first few years of our life. We've been living somebody else's story. There are aspects to your story I would love, as a literature major at UC Berkeley, I love stories, so I would love to hear your story. And it's very important at the same time to transform and take that story to the next chapter. So I invite you to sign up for a session with me. There's no charge for it. And hopefully we can talk soon. And I hope that this perspective has been helpful to you. Bye for now.